So, it's just us this week? No Milo?
I guess so. Is that your plushie?
Nope. I have no idea how that got there.
Huh. I'm sure nothing will come of that.
Is this just what we're doing? Just three hosts that rotate?
Seems like it. I wonder what happened to Milo.
I'm sure they're fine. Now, how about we cut to the intro and get this new show on the road?
Right. News anchors. That's what we are. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Real Deal, Ball State's premier news network. I'm your host, Jeremiah.
And I'm your co-host, Chris. So, Jeremiah, what news do we have to tell the audience on this news show where we definitely tell the news?
Thanks for asking, Chris. In weather news, German scientist Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz has invented a giant magnet with a magnetic pull strong enough to reverse Earth's rotation. Due to this, people around the world have seen massive changes to the atmosphere. The Amazon River has become an arid wasteland. Northwestern Europe is experiencing an apocalyptic winter that would make Roland Emmerich blush. And the ships around the world are stranded by the changing currents.
Oh my God, that sounds terrible. I mean, except for the Europe part. I would have preferred London just drown, but I'm happy with hypothermia taking it.
What's more, a man known only as Gru, accompanied by a horde of small yellow cyclopses that speak in gibberish, have successfully stolen the moon. Worldwide tides have seen an immediate 40% reduction, causing more harm to the ecosystem, and many cargo ships have been lost to the newly raging seas.
No, I just ordered wine and cheese all the way from Italy.
Too bad, Chris. It's gone forever.
Any other news you have to offer?
Actually, yes. A triangle has taken over a small town in Oregon and has been using it as a home base for reality warping.
Just cut to the first segment. I need a minute to mourn my wine and cheese.
What's up, everyone? It's the cheesy boy Seth, back with some more random things that I wanted to say. So, as you may have noticed, the theme of today's episode is news stories. Because of that, I've decided to talk about my favorite piece of news that is 100% true. This is not a joke. This is a real thing that happened. The next sentence that I'm about to say is not a lie. Wizards of the Coast hired the bad guys from Red Dead Redemption 2 to raid a YouTuber's house for a leaked pack of Magic the Gathering cards. So, some context on some things. First, this happened in April of last year, so yes, it's a little dated, but it's still funny. Second, Wizards of the Coast is a role-playing game company that owns Magic the Gathering, a popular fantasy card game. Thirdly, the bad guys I referenced are the Pinkertons, a real-world security firm that has been around since the last days of the Wild West, and are prominently featured in the video game Red Dead Redemption 2. So what exactly happened, you may ask? Well, a YouTuber that goes by the name of Old School MTG bought a pack of cards that was accidentally leaked to the public before release. He did not intend to buy this card pack and was sent the wrong one by accident. He posted a video reviewing the card pack anyway, and according to him, the next day, the Pinkertons showed up at his door demanding the stolen cards. The Pinkertons put Old School MTG on the phone with a representative of Wizards of the Coast who was, quote, very apologetic for making my wife cry first thing in the morning by sending these heavy-duty lawmen. So, if you haven't lost faith in humanity yet, then congrats. You have more than I ever did.
I spent so much money on that wine and cheese.
How much money?
$334.67.
Wow, that must really suck. Anyways, back to the news.
Oh, what now?
Well, in the time since we first reported on all these catastrophes, they've all ceased. Earth is completely back to normal.
Let me guess. They had to change a heart and realize the error of their ways.
Oh, Chris, you jokester. Of course not. That would be ridiculous. No, it's being reported that Dr. Doofenshmirtz was foiled by a teal platypus wearing a fedora. The moon has been returned to its original orbit after the man who stole it used it to crush a nerd in an orange jumpsuit.
Well, what about Oregon? Was he beaten by a bunch of weirdos in the town, holding hands and believing in the power of friendship and love?
While that ending may have been satisfying to watch, no, that is not what happened. Instead, the triangle was halted by science-induced amnesia and its own inability to tell twins apart.
So everything's just back to normal then?
It sure is, Chris. The death toll is estimated to be in the millions. On to the next segment.
The what?
Hello, I am not Milo. Who's Milo? Not Milo. Anyway, since I couldn't think of anything as much, I'm going to list off 10 of my Hear Me Out fictional characters. A Hear Me Out is usually someone you would probably date but can't. As you see, I don't have a cake in front of me like those TikTokers do, so I shall list them in order. Number 1, a Bacchio Leone from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. A fine mafioso who looks like a goth? Sign me up. Number 2, Mary Toft. It started as a joke. Anyway, number 3, Simon Petrikov from Adventure Time. He can freeze my heart any day of the week. Number 4, Caleb Woodabane from the hit show The Owl House. Yes, he is dead. Yes, he doesn't have any speaking lines, but he is still fine as hell and British. Number 5, Cheese Sandwich from My Little Pony. A fine accordion player with a heart full of cheese. Number 6, Ginger from the movie Chicken Run. I don't know how to explain that one. Number 7, Captain Amelia from Treasure Planet. That one speaks for itself, really. Number 8, any of the Gerudo women from any Legend of the Zelda game. They are big, scary, strong, powerful, and hot. Number 9, Steven from the show Moon Knight. I like that autistic man. Very nice. And finally, number 10, Herbert Trubshaw, also known as Jellyman from the Box Trolls. He just makes me laugh and giggle, okay? Also, I love jam. That is all. Bye-bye. And like I said, I am not Milo.
So, Chris, do you have any news for us?
Right. Megalopolis flopped at the box office to the shock of absolutely no one. Meanwhile, to the shock of absolutely everybody, The Wild Robot has soared to number 1 at the box office.
Chris, I think you're a tad bit confused on what I meant when I asked if you had any news for us. I meant world news from entertainment sources, not news about entertainment.
But the stuff I said was real.
And my stuff isn't. Chris, if there's anything I've learned after 20 years as a news anchor, it's that people don't want to be informed by the news, they want to be thrilled. So thrill them.
Isn't spreading misinformation like a crime?
Only if you get caught, and besides, the last host used this podcast to deliver news about Star Wars, Skyrim, and Germany, as if any of those things are actually real places that you can visit.
I'm pretty sure that last one you said is real.
Nope, they're all fictional. Now how about we cut to the next segment while you round up some news to tell the audience?
Actually, I think I have one prepared right now.
Then let's hear it.
Thanks, Jeremiah. Anyway, half of all humanity has just faded to dust. There are now only 4 billion people left worldwide. Governments around the world are collapsing all around us. And some are saying the rapture is happening.
Golly gee, that sounds bad.
Hello, Real Deal, and welcome to Dawson's Poetry Hour. Today, I've got one of my favorite pieces, written and performed by Hermann Hesse, Im Nebel. Seltsam im Nebel zu wandern. Einsam ist jeder Busch und Stein, kein Baum sieht den andern, jeder ist allein. Voll von Freunden war mir die Welt, als noch mein Leben liegt wahr. Nun, da der Nebel fällt, ist keiner mehr sichtbar. Wahrlich keiner ist weise, der nicht das Dunkel kennt, das unentrinnbar und leise, von allen entrennt. Seltsam im Nebel zu wandern, Leben ist einsam sein. Kein Mensch kennt den anderen, jeder ist allein. Schadenfreude. Back to the show.
So, Jeremiah, a lot of the news we've been giving today has been pretty terrible. So while the last segment was playing, I decided to find some positive and funny news stories that are 100% true.
Spectacular. Humanity seems to be going all out into a full purge mode today, so I think we could all use a smile.
So true. Anyway, in recent news, a preschool in Virginia has been using Paw Patrol to teach democracy to the kids. Apparently, they've been voting on which dog in the animated TV show is real.
And which puppy, might I ask, won the election?
It was a dead tie between a police guy dog and a girly pop pink dog that was favored by all the girls.
Well, let's hope that's not foreshadowing for anything in the real world. And speaking of the real world, everyone is back. After the third segment, we had to cut the show short as half our crew literally turned into a pile of dust. This is a part of the show that is being filmed 5 years in the future, after said crew members miraculously returned.
The event has been coined by many as the blip, although I personally would have preferred the snappening, and now we all have to deal with all the displaced people that have been dead for the last 5 years.
Wow, that sounds like an awesome storyline that we could use to follow for the rest of the season.
Nah, we'll probably just focus on some space stuff and recasting past hosts in the new roles to relive our glory days.
As our fictional reality is plagued by fictional atrocities, it's always nice to reflect on what is real. I'm, of course, referring to the shadow government, which is connected to BlackRock and Vanguard, two of the world's biggest investment companies that, guess what, own each other. They've infiltrated every market, every government, and every chicken nugget. And the worst part is, nobody sees it. That's how they get you. You're too busy scrolling through cat memes in every episode of The Real Deal while they're consolidating power like a bad game of Monopoly. Get up and take a look at the Roseburg files from 2002. That'll show you and you'll finally see. This has been Jeremiah Envoy reminding you that a good customer is a happy customer. See you next time.
Jujutsu Kaisen, a popular manga/anime, has concluded with the final chapter releasing just days before this recording. There are many thoughts and opinions from the fans of the series on how it ended, so allow me, if you will, to stand on my soapbox and speak on the matter. Spoilers ahead. To briefly summarize, after approximately 38.2 second wins, the archenemy of the series, Sukuna, is dead. In the struggle to overcome this great evil, Satoru Gojo has died. And the idiot fans who read this series simply can't comprehend that their favorite white-haired skinny legend has bit the dust. Because of this, many believe that with the series winding down, he should somehow make a miraculous comeback. He does not. And this does not make the ending bad. But for some basement dwellers, this makes the entire series a failure, going in some people's eyes from a generational 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 down to a 4 or lower. As you can tell by my language, I disagree with this sentiment, although I do have some complaints, particularly with the character of Yuta Okkotsu, who has earned GOAT status throughout this final battle, but in doing so, made some decisions that in previous arcs either would have failed or would have had major consequences. Instead, Yuta is #just that guy and was simply able to become the monster, as he puts, and has 0 consequences for it. Really, that extends to the whole series, in my opinion. I mean, it's been pretty bleak throughout, and it only had a sense of humor and hope being large factors of motivation for the cast. And with it all to end so nicely wrapped up in a bow and jovial, I don't hate it, but I am experiencing some whiplash from it. In the end, I want to get the point across that I think the ending, while serviceable, has its problems, real problems, and you as the reader should step back and try to come to your own conclusions about it. I still recommend the series and expect great things from mangaka Gege Akutami in the future. Thank you for listening to this little tangent. Thank you so much for watching our show. If you'd like to follow The Real Deal, you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
We hope you stay well informed. I'm your host, Jeremiah.
And I'm Chris, the man that spent $334.67 on wine and cheese that I never even got.
That's an odd thing to want to be known for, Chris.
It was that or Two Take Wonder.
Fair enough.